Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Fabio and today I have a short and sweet sequence for you with 10 yoga poses for correcting bad posture. So if you're ready, join me on the mat and let's begin together. Today we're gonna start on all fours in a tabletop position and we're gonna start with a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So as you inhale, arch your back, and as you exhale, round your spine looking towards your belly. Once again, we're going to inhale to arch the back, warming up the body, and exhaling to look down towards the mat or the belly. The arms are strong, inhale to arch, and exhale to round the spine, making the movement bigger for the very last one, inhaling to arch, and exhaling to round the spine. Now, as you come back to a neutral spine, extend your arms towards the top of the mat and drop your heart towards the floor. Now here we're in puppy pose with the hips stuck on top of the knees, and this is a great pose to open the shoulder and the chest. You can go a bit deeper, bringing the hands in prayer position behind your back, still with the elbows on the floor. This is going to deepen the stretch in your tricep and open the shoulders even further. Remember to breathe deeply in order to allow the body to get used to the pose and to open in a safe way. We're going to hold for one last breath. And now on your next exhalation, you can release the hands on the floor and exit from this pose. So we're going to bring the hands once again underneath the shoulder. Spread your fingers and press them down into the mat. Now tuck your toes and lift the hips up towards the sky. We are now in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, which is another great pose to open the shoulders and the chest. Our goal here is not really to straighten the legs, but instead we want to focus our attention to the length of the spine. Try to achieve a neutral spine, as neutral as possible. Now on your next inhalation, lift your right leg up, and as you exhale, bring the knee to your chest, step in between your hands, and lift up in a high lunge position. Interlace the hands behind your back and pull the arms away from your body. At the same time, open the chest towards the front wall or the sky and breathe here. Another great pose to open the chest and shoulders. Now release your hands exhaling and inhale, lift your arms up and add a small back bend if you feel comfortable with that. Remember to stay strong in your foundation, in your legs. Exhale, bring both palms on the floor and step back into downward facing dog. We're going to hold it here for a couple of deep breaths, trying to open the shoulders and lengthen the spine a little more. Hold it for one more deep breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Now on your next inhalation, roll your spine and move forward into plank pose, then lower all the way to the mat and press up to arch the back into upward facing dog. Try to press your shoulders down and away from your ears to have a long and relaxed neck. Now exhale, move back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold it for one deep breath. Exhale. And now on your next inhalation, lift the left leg up. We'll be exhaling, knee to chest, to step in between the hands. And now inhale to come up in your high lunge position, interlacing the hands behind your back and pulling the arms away from your body. Open the chest towards the ceiling. Breathe deeply. And maybe go a little deeper in your lunge. So bend the front knee a little more. Exhale, release your hands and inhale to lift them up to add a small back bend if you can. Stay strong and stable. Exhale, release the hands on the floor and step back into downward facing dog. One more time. Every time you come back to this pose, try to relax a little more. Now on your next exhalation, bend your knees and look forward, and then step or hop at the front of your mat and fall deeply into Uttanasana. Bend the knees again and roll the spine all the way up to standing in Tadasana. Feel a long spine, feel the difference in your posture, and then step back with your right foot. We're going to have our feet nice and wide in Prasarita. Inhale, interlace the fingers behind your back, pull the arms away from you, and exhale, fold forward. Again, always thinking about the arms reaching away from your body and down towards the floor. Try to have a micro bend in your elbows to avoid hyperextension of your arms. Take a few deep breaths here, feeling the shoulders opening, the chest opening, and always staying strong in your foundation. As you inhale next, come all the way up to standing. Release your arms. Bring the hands on the hips and step forward at the top of your mat. Now inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward from your hips. Let's step back into plank pose with one foot at a time, and then lower down to chaturanga. Release all the way to the floor, point your toes, and reach back with your arms on your next inhalation. Now lift the chest off the mat, kick your feet towards your hands, and hold on to your ankles if you can. If you're there, then kick the feet into your hands to arch the back even more. We are now in Dhanurasana, a great pose that opens the front of the body and strengthens the back of the body. Exhale, release down, let go of your feet, and bring the hands underneath your shoulders. We'll be pressing back on all fours, and then slowly readjust your knees right underneath your hips. Lower the forearms on the ground with your palms facing down. Press the hands into the floor, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up, nice and slow with control, into Dolphin Pose. This can be a quite intense pose for the shoulders, so make sure you go nice and slow. Melt your heels towards the ground as much as possible, and breathe deeply. If you want to feel a deeper stretch in the shoulders, you can walk your feet slightly forward towards your elbows and breathe here. Now release, bring the knees down on the mat, point your toes, and sit back into Balasana, our child's pose. We'll be taking a couple of deep breaths here just to relax and reconnect to the breath. And whenever you're ready, you can roll your spine all the way up. Bring the hands on the hips and lift off your heels. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, lengthen the spine, push the hips forward and arch your back without dropping the head. We're now in Ustrasana. You can reach for your heels if you're comfortable. And if this feels okay, you can also point your toes and go a little deeper in this one. Remember to always push the hips forward and arch the back nicely. Keep the breath flowing, your back and your legs active. And when you're ready, on your next inhalation, bring the hands in prayer position and come out of the pose. You can sit back on your heels, bring the hands on the floor and lower the forehead down into child's pose once again. Take a few gentle rocks side to side to release any tension from your low back. And when you're happy with that, you can sit on one side, extend your legs forward, bend your knees, and meet me down on the mat, keeping the core engaged. Now bring the hands beside you, close to your heels. Press the feet down into the floor. Take a deep breath in to lift the hips up towards the sky. Now if you're comfortable, you can interlace your hands underneath your sacrum and press them down into the floor. This is another great pose that definitely will improve your posture. Once again, remember to breathe deeply. Keep the chest open. Keep the legs active. Now on your next exhalation, release the hands and release the hips down on the mat. We'll be hugging the knees into the chest to release any tension from the low back and take a few gentle rocks side to side until you feel your body fully relaxed. Find stillness just for a breath. On your next exhalation, release all the way down to the ground in your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Here you can start noticing the difference in your spine. Relax your shoulders and your neck, allowing the chest to rise and fall with your breath. Now here you may feel a difference in the curves in your spine. They may feel a little more natural. If you're ready, you can join the hands at the heart, closing today's practice. And as always, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this one. You can also check out all my other videos and come back to this one anytime you feel like you need a little boost for your posture. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.